Hi everyone, this is Adam again. It is Wednesday, April 9th, 2025, a 4-day in numerology. 4 is about structure and building foundations. And one of the things I'm doing today is, that I mentioned in the last video, is today is a throat chakra day for me based on my birthday, Monday, and dividing the, not dividing, but rephrase that, incorporating the 7 days of the week, associating with the 7 chakras, using the day of my birth as the solar plexus day, my solar birth day, which is a Monday, and excuse me. Working with the chakras for the 7 days of the week, based around my solar plexus day being on Mondays. And so today is the throat chakra day, practicing, and I'm reading through this wonderful book that I have that was gifted to me called The Wheels of Life several years ago by Anodia Judith. And a guide to the 7 chakras, which I'm using as a daily reference to work on opening up my chakras, keep them open, and developing and mastering my energy, my mind, my body, and my own chakra systems to keep things balanced, harmonized, in flow, open. And I read in the last video, I'm reading the chapter of the chakra number 5, which is the Visuddha chakra, the Sanskrit name. And so I'm going to continue with a little more reading with some of the time remaining I have for my video. It's 40 pages, so I'm just doing videos for sections. I'm going to work on doing an entire video or a series based on each of the chakras as I'm developing and learning and growing in my own knowledge, awareness, wisdom, and mastery in harmonizing and attuning and living from my chakra centers in a more unified state. Unified high vibrational state. And so I wanted to continue on and share some things with you. So I wanted to share first, let's talk about the chakra 5, Visuddha, symbols and correspondences according to Wheels of Life, Anodia Judith, and the information she's gathered to share with us to help us learn and become more attuned and aligned and more knowledgeable about what we're doing with relation to the throat chakra, chakra 5. The Sanskrit name of chakra 5 is Visuddha. The meaning is purification. The location, the throat. The element of sound. The function of communication and creativity. The inner state, synthesis of ideas into symbols. Outer manifestation, vibration. The glands, the thyroid and the parathyroid. The other body parts, the neck, the shoulders, the arms, and the hands. The potential malfunction when the throat chakra is not open. We can have a sore throat, stiff neck, colds, thyroid problems, and potentially hearing problems. The color for the throat chakra is bright blue. The sense, hearing. The seed sound is hum. 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 The vowel sound is E. The petals are the 16 petals, all Sanskrit vowels. The 16 petals of the lotus. The Sephiroth is the Geburah and the Chesed for the Kabbalah. The planets, Mercury and Neptune. The metal is Mercury. The foods are fruits. So today would be a fruit day. Corresponding verb is I speak. The yoga path is mantra yoga. Herbs for incense, frankincense, benzoin, and turquoise. The animals associated with the throat chakra are elephant, bull, and lion. The guna is rajas. The symbolisms, the downward triangle within which a white circle, thought to represent the full moon in the circle, is a white elephant, over which is the bija symbol, hum. The deities in the lotus are Sadasiva, a three-eyed, five-faced, 10-armed form of Shiva, seated on a white bull, clothed in a tiger skin with garland of snakes. The goddess is Gauri, Shining One, consort of Shiva, thought by some to be a corn goddess. Gauri is also the name of a class of goddesses which include Uma, Parvati, Ramba, Totala, and Tripura. The associated deities in Hindu are Ganga, or Ganja, river goddess related to purification, and Sarasvati. Other gods or deities are Hermes, the Muses, Apollo, Bridget, Seshat, and Nabu. Chief operating quality, sympathetic vibration. We go on to read what Anodia Judith refers to as the gateway of consciousness. Only in silence the word, only in dark the light, only in dying the life. Bright the hawk's flight on the empty sky. Ursula K. Le Guin. Sound, rhythm, vibration, and words. Powerful rulers of our lives. We take these things for granted. Using them, responding to them, creating them anew each day, we are the subjects of rhythm upon rhythm, endlessly interweaving to create the fabric of all that we experience. From the first cries of a newborn child to the harmonies of symphony, we can hear the sound of consciousness reaching out to connect with others and echo back upon itself. Communication is the means whereby consciousness expands and extends itself from one place to another. Invisible, sometimes even inaudible. Communication is the connecting principle that makes life possible. From the DNA-encoded messages of living cells to the spoken or written word, from the nerve impulses connecting mind and body to the broadcast waves connecting continent to continent, communication is the heart of coordination among all living things. Within the body, communication is crucial. Without electrical communication between brainwaves and muscle tissue, we couldn't move. Without chemical communication of hormones to the cellular tissue, there would be no growth. No cues for cyclical changes, no defenses against disease or dis-ease. If it were not for the communicative properties of DNA to reproduce cells according to genetic information, life would not continue, nor would life be possible. Our civilization is equally dependent upon communication. Communication is the connecting fabric through which we can experience ourselves as a united whole, much as the body's cells work together to form one organism. Our communication networks are a cultural nervous system connecting us all. Chakra 5 is the center of sound, vibration, and self-expression. It is the realm of consciousness that controls, creates, transmits, and receives communication. Both within ourselves and between each other, it is the center of dynamic creativity, of synthesizing old ideas into something new. Its attributes include listening, speaking, writing, chanting, telepathy, and any and all of the arts. especially those related to sound and language, frequency and vibration, and even light. Communication is the art and process of transmitting and receiving information through a symbolic representation of pattern. In the fourth chakra, we merely became aware of the patterns. In the fifth chakra, we symbolize these patterns for storage and use in the brain. We use symbols to make meta patterns. We become creative using language to bring attention to or otherwise alter another pattern. As we leave the self-reflective yin state of balance attained in the fourth chakra, we come to a yang state of joyous, creative self-expression that characterizes the fifth. Each level builds upon and complements the one before it. As we climb again, we are taking yet another step away from the physical. Communication is our first level of physical transcendence. Through communication, we can extend or even replace the body. We can record voices on tape or on video, digital, or in the Akash, simply by speaking, in the ether. By telephoning New York, we can avoid going there. The call takes only minutes, costs little, and yet the limitations of time and space have been transcended as nonchalantly as if it were crossing the street. The same with telepathy, just by tuning in. I'm not supposed to be shaking my head. Just by tuning in. Yes. Communication, due to its symbolic nature, is an essential key to accessing the inner planes and using our multidimensional mental levels. With symbols, we now have the means to represent the world in a more efficient way, one that gives us infinite storage capacity in the brain. We can discuss the things before we do them. We can absorb and store information in a concise form. We can synthesize thoughts into concrete images and store the images again as thoughts, all through the use of minute symbols that represent the larger physical world. We have stated earlier that the lower chakras are highly individual. Our bodies are clearly separate. As we climb up the chakra column, our boundaries become less defined. When we reach pure consciousness, the ideal of the seventh chakra, it becomes impossible to draw a border around this consciousness and say, this is mine and that is yours. Information and ideas are like the breath we breathe, as invisible fields surrounding us, from which we take what we need. There are no separations in this field. Each step upward decreases boundaries and separation. Communication is an act of connection. It is one of the uniting principles of the upper chakras. If I give a speech to a group of people on the subject of healing, I am uniting their consciousness, if only momentarily, around that subject. Due to the communication that has occurred, there is now a subset of information shared by all the people in the audience as they leave the hall. If I give the lecture several times, this subset of shared consciousness grows even larger. Diverging minds have common subsets after communication has occurred. Communication is a way of extending ourselves beyond ordinary limitations. Through communication, information contained in our brain that is not in my brain becomes accessible to me, from you, or from the Akash, or from the ether, or from the airwaves. You may never have been to China, for example, but through the communication of books, movies, pictures, and conversations, you're still able to have fair knowledge of its people, customs, government, landscapes, and language. As communication unites, it also expands. The expansion mirrors the pattern of the ascending current of consciousness. In the descending direction of the chakras, we are moving toward limitation and manifestation. We are taking patterns of thought and symbolizing them in the physical world through the process of naming. Naming focuses consciousness by drawing limits and decreasing its abstraction. To name a thing is to clarify it, to set its boundaries, to set its intention, and to specify. Language gives structure and meaning to our thoughts. Communication creates the future. If I say to you, bring me a glass of water, I am creating a future for myself which contains a glass of water in my hand. If I say, go away, leave me alone, I am creating a future without you. From presidential speeches and corporate board meetings to friendly discussions or marital fights, communication is creating a world at each and every moment. The Hindus believe that all matter is made of sound. Our own sounds create the shape of things around us at each vibration. And as well, thoughts matter. What we think is creating everything around us. How we feel matters. The way our body's communicating with us. The way we are communicating with our body through our thoughts. Our thoughts are communication via telepathy. They are heard, they are felt, they are received. The transmitted vibrations out into the ether, around us, to nature, to the land, to the animals, to the insects, to the water. It's all contributing to the manifestation of what we experience in our daily lives all around us. It is clear that communication can direct consciousness in both directions of the chakra spectrum. Therefore, it can be seen as a symbolic system occupying the meeting point between the abstract and the manifested idea. It formulates our thoughts into controlled physical vibrations, which in turn create manifestations on the physical plane. And as we name the things and concepts on the physical plane, it prepares them for use by the consciousness. With words, consciousness as a tool has a tool through which it can order or organize the universe around it, including itself. Therefore, this chakra occupies a crucial place in the gateway between mind and body. It is not a central place of balance like the heart. Rather, it mirrors the transformative properties of fire, a medium in the transition from one dimension to another, as well as the properties of air. In this chapter, we will explore communication from the theoretical to the practical, examining the principles of vibration, sound, mantras, language, telepathy, creativity, and media. We will examine the roles each of these plays in communication and in the structure of the chakra system and their effect on the world around us. Visura, the purifier. O devil, O Sarasvat. Oh, no. Shit. That's not what that said. That was a miscommunication. O Devi, O Sarasvati, reside thou ever in my speech. Reside thou ever on my tongue tip. O Divine Mother, giver of faultless poetry. Swami Sivananda Radha. O Devi, O Devi. I love you. Goodbye. Mwah.